Welcome to E39 Source. This is Ryan Schultz with the 2000 E39 M5 from Ohio. Today here in lovely San Diego, California at my father's house doing a bit of an intro on his 2016 F10 M5. So this is a replacement vehicle for the E60 M5. That's a 2006 that he purchased used. I believe it was CPO back in 2012. That vehicle is for sale, and we'll probably be posting a for sale video going over this car in detail. So stay tuned to the channel here and expect that within the next week or two. But back to the F10, we do not have one of these yet on E39 Source, so I figured I'd have the opportunity to spend some time with one and get to know one. I might as well do at least a little intro and walk around here and show you guys the car. We'll start with a little bit of business inside and into the glove box, and we'll take a look at the window sticker and learn a little bit about this car. So as I mentioned, it is a 2016. It is not brand new. This is a CPO car. It's got a couple miles on it. I'm gonna go ahead and open this up. So there we are, the ultimate driving machine, the 2016 M5. This is Singapore gray metallic for the exterior, and this is the black full merino or merino leather interior. I don't know how to pronounce that. It has the 20-inch M wheels. Those are style 601M that we'll get a little bit a better look at here in a minute. As you can see, it does have the competition package, the driver assistance package, and the executive package. Coming down, we see that all of this stuff is included. It is a dual clutch vehicle, and then the only other options are down here at the bottom, one of which we have already removed. So you see it says Shadowline black kidney grills. We have removed and sold those. I did not like the way they looked on this vehicle at all, and they're gone, so we've deleted that option. We do have the stainless steel pedals. The wheel locks are still in place, and we'll get a look at the pedals right there. That's a nice little option. Kind of look like some of the ones that are available for the E39 M5. It's a nice touch over the regular black plastic ones. Otherwise, they claim 16 mpg city, or is that combined? 16 city, or 16 combined, 14 city, 20 highway. So, not too great, but it's an M5. If you're buying a car for gas mileage, this should be about the last thing you look at. The book in this car is actually very different, or the little cubby for the book is very different. It's kind of a textured material that feels more like the headliner in the standard 5 series, and then it does have some stitched leather where the M logo is, so not quite as nice, ironically, as what the E39 had. On the contrary, the interior is significantly nicer than the E39. This one being a full leather example, so that's leather up here on the dash. It's got a stitch line up here. The steering wheel in this is fantastic. The 2013 had a pre-facelift wheel. This is a 2016, so the 14 Plus has had this beautiful wrapped, really soft leather steering wheel with the M color stitching. They kind of look like the E39 luxury seats, really soft leather. The entire center console is leather. There's the DCT shifter, as well as a bunch of buttons to do your parking sensors, your cameras, your shift ferocity, steering, suspension, throttle, and traction. Electronic parking brake, ceramic, I think this is the ceramic iDrive controller, maybe not, I'm not too sure on these new BMWs. The tactile feedback is amazing, and it is touch sensitive. In here there is an ashtray, and then the entire center console opens to reveal the USB port and the 3.5mm auxiliary in, as well as a trunk lock for your valet, all of that. And this has the aluminum trace trim, which I greatly prefer to the wood. And this is in very nice condition in here. Heated and cooled seats, AC, your standard automatic windows, full leather door panels. It's not quite as full leather as the E39. Seeing that the lower B pillars here are a standard vinyl, which is fine. There's no reason for that to be leather. And the steering column is just a generic BMW plastic, which is also fine. There's no reason for that to be leather. It gets scuffed up. Auto start stop is a feature that will never be used in this vehicle. It has a huge sunroof, the Alcantara headliner. We have hardwired a Valentine 1 radar detector, Alcantara visors as well, quite a nice touch. Memory seats for the passenger and driver, 2-position memory for both. Active seat for passenger and driver. The standard F10 M5 floor mats are not M5 logoed, which I found odd, considering that the E39 and E60 are. Very nice door sills. We'll get a better look now at the exterior. Back to the exterior, we'll start in the front. We can see it's got the executive package, which I believe includes those LED headlights which are fantastic at night. Not a night and day difference, no pun intended, over the xenons. The xenons on the E60 and the 39 are quite capable. These are probably going to run cooler and last longer though, in the long run. So the headlights look awesome. We'll flip the halos on here in a few minutes maybe if we have time. So these grills, they're the competition grills. I guess that means the double slat as opposed to the single slat that every other BMW has had. Has the M5 badging in the top right, and then these do have the chrome accent around the perimeter. The other ones were just gloss black, just like the slats on these, but they blended into the car way too much. And the purpose of trim and grills to me is to contrast and accent the rest of the vehicle. And the black ones just didn't. They blended in. They looked a bit too ricey to me. On a white car, on a silver car, they might look great. On Singapore gray metallic, they didn't look good to me. So, and my dad. So we've replaced them with these and as I mentioned, have sold the other ones. PDC sensors integrated into the bumper, of course. Driver assistance package comes with all of the cameras. There's a total of 5 that I have found on this vehicle. There's one on each front corner of the bumper. There's another one in the bottom of the mirror, and then the 5th one is the reverse camera in the trunk lid. These are the Style 601M 20-inch M wheels. These are the competition wheels. You could also get the Style 343M, which is your double 5-spoke. I actually really like these though. We've got brand new Michelin Pilot Super Sport. These are, let's see, 265/35 ZR20s in the front, and they're 295, I believe, 30 ZR20 in the rear. We'll verify that in a moment. But floating drilled rotors, which look awesome. Big blue calipers with the M badge on them, unfortunately right behind that spoke in the wheel. And it does have the keyed wheel locks on there. You can't see it on camera, but it's in there. Came with the chrome side vents. This vehicle has been cleared. There's a clear film on the front, and it's been tinted in the last week. I'll get into that in a little bit more detail here in a few moments. We put on some fresh BMW valve stem caps. You know me, we like our, I like my details on cars. And these are 295/30 ZR20s in the rear. Also with floating rotors and blue calipers. These don't have the M logo on them. Come around to the back. It's got the competition exhaust, which is a surprisingly small tip size. I guess I'm used to the aftermarket system on the E60, and by system I mean muffler delete with nice stainless tips welded on there. These just look too small, too recessed to me, and I don't like the fact that they're black. I think that stuff should be chrome. So that'll probably change in the future at some point. I think my dad feels similarly. Has the M5 badge in chrome, thankfully. License plates are coming. This side perfectly clean as well. We'll get the mileage on the car. It's a 2016. It's an early 2016. This was produced in August of 15, right there. So that's probably the first month of 2016 production. And I'm not sure how to get the mileage. It's the same way. It's got 4,547 miles on there, so that's pretty low. As I mentioned, the 4 leather door panels, which look and feel amazing. We'll also get a look under the hood after I talk about the film and tint a little bit. So this was done by Auto Armor here in San Diego, and they did fantastic work. This is 3M crystalline all the way around, so the side windows are 50% tint. We almost went 40, but I'm glad we went with the 50. I think they look awesome. Definitely you can still tell that it's tinted, but it still looks very clean and classy, which this car does all the time. The back window is 50% as well. And of course, the right side matching the left is 50%. The tint package included the windshield. We went with a 70% tint on the windshield, which is pretty much clear. It's just going to keep those UV light rays and UV light rays from hitting the leather dash, A, and B, it's going to reflect the majority of the heat back outside the car, so it should stay nice and cool in this hot California sun. And then there's a 70% tint on the roof, on the sunroof as well, in addition to the privacy glass that the car came standard with. So now moving on to the film. This is, I believe it's Expel. It is Expel, and it's actually, there's a lot of it done. So the entire hood is cleared in Expel. It's wrapped around all the edges. It's virtually impossible to tell that's on here. It does feel a little bit different, but this is going to keep all the rock chips out of this car. So the whole hood, the whole fender, they actually popped the grills out, wrapped underneath in there. That's incredibly well done. I mean, there are so few imperfections. In fact, there's one right here that you can see, and if that doesn't come out in a few days, they can take some heat to it and push that out. And there's another one here, and that's virtually all we have found. So both fenders, the hood, the entire bumper, it's cut around the camera and the reflector. We're undecided on the reflector delete right now. I know that's a very common thing. It's Euro spec, I guess, if you pop that out and put in a dummy panel painted in the vehicle paint color. So that may be coming, I don't know. Headlights are also wrapped in Expel. They took out the kidney grills again and the front badge. There's Expel all under there. It's wrapped underneath the front bumper. The mirrors are wrapped to here. This is one of the only film lines you can see on the car. It's right there on top of the mirror cap. So that's an Expel, not the A-pillars, not the roof. Each one of these door handle areas, that's wrapped in Expel in there. So if you were to hit your fingernails or a ring or a key into the paint there, that's protected all the way around. And then the rear bumper is also filmed, this lip all the way up to this body line, lip down to here, and then the body line. So this is filmed all here, back to here. And it's very, very, very hard to tell where those lines are. And then the last piece of film is the luggage guard here on the bumper. You can see it right there, and then it drops down about a ½ an inch. That's filmed as well. So this car is definitely ready to see some miles and some use here on the California highways. It's crazy the kind of stone chips and damage that can happen to the car. The E60 isn't bad, it isn't horrible, but we did have the front bumper painted about 2 or 3 years ago, and it's quite pitted. Again, not horrible, better than the majority of the cars on the road, but seeing that it was perfect 2 years ago, it's depressing to see it get damaged again so quickly, even if minor damage. So this one's very well protected. I guess we can take a look under the hood and see what is known as the S63, I think it's a TU. This is 4.4 liter bi-turbo, twin power turbo. BMW says it makes about 575 horsepower and 500 pound-feet of torque. I think it was Car and Driver tested it actually over 600 horsepower. So it's ludicrous power, it's stupid torque, it's available at 1500 RPM and above. It's just a ridiculous power plant. The kind of power this thing puts down and the way that it shifts through gears, bangs through gears with the 7-speed is just crazy, crazy, crazy power. And it's actually funny to see an M car with a 0W30 oil sticker on it. I thought that was amusing. So this is only the second turbo car we've ever had in my family. Second to a Porsche 964 Turbo. That was quite a while ago. So we'll get a look at the back seat and then the trunk. I'm not going to do startup, I'm not going to do a drive. It's not my car to do that with. But I figured this would be a good way to show you guys around. It has the sunshades, the rear window shade as well. It's controlled from a button inside somewhere, but it's got that. The side windows are still manual, and they kind of feel just like the E39, maybe slightly better plastic, but everything does work at this point in time. The only options this car is missing are the Bang & Olufsen sound system, so you notice that it just has the standard Harman Kardon speaker grills here and then the front doors. And it's missing the night vision with pedestrian detection that would be up in the front grille, which is a complete gimmick feature. So it's too bad about the B&O sound, but it's whatever. It also has the split folding seats that you'll see from the trunk. Rear climate control and rear console here is actually quite robust. It has individual zones, an automatic button, separate fan speed, heated rear seats, zone control, max AC button, and the fan speed button. So there's a lot going on in the rear, complete with the rear dome light back there. You can turn on the center one or the side map lights individually. And the executive package includes the soft closed doors. So if you don't get it all the way, it goes ahead and pulls that shut for you. Also part of the executive package, if you have the key, which is a little larger than the standard BMW key that we've seen, at least in the E60 generation. If you have that in your pocket, you touch these ribs here, it'll go ahead and lock the car for you. Same thing, I think you come back and stick your hand in there, maybe you have to wait a few seconds, then it unlocks it just by having the key in your pocket. There's just so much technology on this car. I can't begin to go through every feature. I probably do not even know half of them. It's an M5. Of course, the mirrors fold. The button's right there. Both of them work. And then the rear sunshade button is that one, which I don't think will work without the key or the button in the car on at all, but it does work. And it's even got the little adjustable headrest things here, complete with an M logo. The driver assistance package buttons are here. I'm not totally sure what all of them are. I think it's got lane departure warning, blind spot detection. It has the heads-up display, automatic lights. I mean, you name it, it's here. I don't think it has laser-guided cruise control. That's something the Genesis still beats this car with. Otherwise, it's got everything. If you have the key in your pocket, I think you can wave your foot under there somehow. I'm not quite sure how that works yet. And it'll open for you. But it's the auto open trunk. The split fold releases are right here like any other BMW. There's a lot of room in the trunk. There's your tire bomb and compressor. The battery's under the rest of it. There's some fuses back there, a storage cubby, another storage cubby, and that's about it in the trunk. It has a lock button from here and a trunk close button from here. So that's quite convenient. You don't have to close the trunk too hard there, like on the E39. Gas cap doors, very self-explanatory. I'm not even going to talk about that. And the other side looks just like that. So this is going to be his daily. Again, the E60's for sale. This is a fantastic replacement for that. It's not nearly as raw. The S85 is really a special motor. It's a V10. That thing has a muffler delete, so it's quite loud. It is an SMG, unfortunately. So the biggest difference is in this car. This car is so much more refined. It has a lot more torque. It has more power as well. And the DCT just bangs through gears like an SMG could never even dream of doing. So it's a good replacement, I think. It's a more refined daily driver. It'll probably get better fuel economy, and this one certainly has more creature comforts than the E60 did. So maybe in the future we'll be doing some DIYs. I doubt that will be too soon, considering the fact that this car has a full warranty through 2021. But if there is anything, I'll be sure to do a video on it while I'm here in San Diego. So thanks for watching this one. Leave any comments or questions down below on the F10 M5. It is quite a ridiculous vehicle. It is just over the top in about every single aspect. So thanks for watching, and I will talk to you guys in a future video. Take care. Pictures on it.